Okay, I just would like to say a couple things before we begin. This morning on the radio, I was very honored to hear the announcement of this meeting in between Eduardo Galeano and Victor Jara. The people of Pacifica may not be Eduardo Galeano's or Victor Jara's, but we are all working in the same tradition to protect and preserve freedom of inquiry through art, music, song, writing, and speech. So I trust that tonight we will all further the Pacifica tradition and follow the Pacifica mission and act to inquire about and understand the causes of conflict, and so that we will respect everybody who is speaking. We will not interrupt, and we will let everyone speak, and if we have disagreements, we will make them when it's our time to speak. Thank you very much. And you are now shouting out, Monroe, and that is what I'm talking about. So we will not have that tonight. All right. The first thing we must do, because the secretary is late, is choose a secretary pro tem until the secretary arrives. So I'll take nominations for the secretary pro tem. Paul.
I nominate Seth Goldberg.
Thank you. Do you accept? Seth? We need a secretary, yes?
All right.
Are there any other nominations for this temporary position? It's until Gail arrives.
Okay.
All right, I assume that he's elected. Thank you, Seth. All right.
Point of order.
Yes?
The notice for this meeting was done in a defective way because of specifically the cancellation. Sorry.
Yeah, okay, now I got the mic. I just want to put on the record that the notice for the meeting that was supposed to have happened, that this board voted to hold on the 20th, was completely destroyed as far as any way of satisfying the bylaws. You had a date that had been set at least 2 months in advance, and the officers did not tell anyone where it was going to be. This went on and on. At a certain point, Lisa Davis put in a query onto the email list. It was not responded to, and finally, less than a day, I believe it was in the middle of the night before the meeting was to commence, that's when the vice chair suddenly decided to let us know that there was some problem securing a venue, and therefore it was going to be postponed for 8 days. And I think that's a total, that's a total obfuscation of the bylaws requirement for notice, and it disrespects the listeners who want to attend these meetings.
Thank you. So what is the so you're saying that we did not follow the proper procedure? Excuse me, Lisa, please. You're saying we did not follow the proper procedure for notice. I'll speak to that. I was looking for notice for space for 10 days. I couldn't find it. And I apologize for the suspense. I did the best I could to secure space according to all the decisions that the board has made requiring meetings. So I apologize. I thought I could have said we could have decided to have the meeting immediately on the 20th, which would have meant that the public would not really have had enough time for notice. So rather than give too short notice, I chose the alternate date with the only officer I could get in touch with. I chose the alternate date for this meeting so that this public would have sufficient notice to come. All right.
Why wasn't it on the BAI hotline? I called 4:30 a.m. this morning and nothing.
I'm sorry, Martin. We are not going to shout out tonight. We are not.
We are not. You may not, but I certainly will.
Martin, the people in this room will not shout out tonight, or we will adjourn the meeting. There are a lot of a lot of controversy about what is going on. There are a lot of strong feelings, and we will handle these with decorum.
My hand is up.
Do you have a point of order?
Yes, I do have a point of order. I just want to say that pertaining to the meeting, there was no excuse for the fact that I did ask several times, at least a couple of days in advance, what was going on, and they refused to answer.
This is not a point of order.
Until I sent out a notice to people and let them know. Well, whatever.
All right. I would like to say that we will not shout out. We have a lot of controversy enough to begin with. All right. I did my best
No one answered me when I asked about where the meeting was going to be several days ago.
I apologize.
Well, it
I
wasn't
was doing my
accepted.
best.
Nobody answered me or would inform me at all about what was going on. I'm just
Lisa,
giving
do you want,
information.
Lisa, we heard your information.
I'm talking to them. Thank you.
You don't talk
No, you didn't hear my
Please
information.
do not talk to them. I asked for no shouting out at this meeting. That includes every member of the board, every single member. Thank you. All right.
Andrea.
Gail Blasey, wait a second. Gail Blasey has arrived.
Yes.
Our secretary.
Sorry, I don't know.
No, it was very difficult. I apologize. I understand. And she is now going to become the secretary. Now, unless you have a point of order, Bob, we have to continue.
Yes, because you misconstrued my original point of order. Okay, what I want reflected in the record is not that there was a problem in postponing till tonight. That was fine. The problem was in making that decision less than 24 hours before the other meeting. So everyone was assuming the meeting would go forward on the 20th until there was barely any time to know that they weren't. And that is what the error was. And
We
the
did
serious
not,
problem.
I did not
It does
know
not
that.
matter. It does not matter whether you knew of a place.
This meeting is now in order,
You needed
Bob,
to make
and
a
I think
decision
we all understand.
several days, at least a
Let 'em
week in
talk.
advance, that you couldn't
I
secure a
could not make the
place,
decision.
and then put that out publicly.
This is, I'm sorry, we're now going to come to order. All right, now, no shouting out, please. Oh, thank you, sorry. Can you hear me now? All right. This is a continued meeting. Yes?
Go ahead, you tell them that.
This is a continued meeting. The agenda was set at the last meeting. A continued meeting means we complete the last meetings. We continue with the last meeting's agenda. Will everyone please keep their voices down? That means we continue where we left off at the agenda at the last meeting. So there are motions and there are motions on the floor already according to the agenda, which we will take up. Yes, Paul? You have a motion, yes?
I have a motion to amend the agenda.
Yeah.
Since we are required to have public comment sessions at our meetings, and since we used up both public comment sessions that were on the previous agenda, in this continued agenda we need to add 30 minutes of public comment. And I would say make it number 13 again, since it's on there, except set it at 8:45. So I would move to have public comment as item number 13 at 8:45.
For 30 minutes instead of 2 public comment sessions?
We could do it in 30 minutes, so what the hell.
All right.
Chair, point of order.
Yes.
This is the same meeting. We're required by the bylaws to have 30 minutes of public comment, and we have had the 30 minutes of public comment.
That is not correct, Steve. At every session of the local board, the public is allowed to participate. So we must insert public comment into this meeting. And I was just, thank you, I was just about to say that. The other, this is a meeting. And the other thing we must do at this meeting is set an adjournment time because it was not set at the last meeting. And now, excuse me, just a second. We have to leave.
The mic.
Can you hear me? I don't know. I am. Why am I not always? What is the matter?
There's nothing wrong with the mic. Just keep it to your mouth.
All right. Can you hear me now? Am I talking into the mic now? Yes. Thank you. All right. We need to set an adjournment.
You're not speaking into the mic again.
Oh no. Is this working now?
Yes.
All right.
You're not.
All right. Okay. We need to set an adjournment time. However, we must evacuate this space by 10 o'clock. So the latest adjournment time that we can set is 9:45. So the body must decide on an adjournment time by 9:45 and must decide on the motion of R. Paul. So I hear a second to R. Paul's motion. Okay, thank you. Any debate? Audra.
Take the mic, Bud.
Audra.
Take the mic.
No, I need to make another amendment to the agenda, but I will hold it.
Okay, thank
I would
you.
like to amend that motion for public comment starting at 8:45. I think it should start at 8:30. I move that it start at 8:30.
So you're making a substitute motion?
Yeah, an amendment on substitute.
You want it to start at 8:30 and you want it to be for 30 minutes?
Well, yeah, definitely 30 minutes, but that it should start a little earlier than 8:45. We have a lot of people here that want to hear.
All right, thank you. Now, we vote on that substitute first. Is there further debate on this discussion anymore, on this subject? Anyone else want to move about public comment or discuss it? All right, so we vote on the substitute motion first. All right. We're voting on the amendment to insert public comment at 8:30 as opposed to 8:45. How many people are in favor of setting public comment at 8:30?
I'm sorry.
Please raise your hand.
8:30?
Yeah, it's an amendment. I was incorrect. All right. Did you say 8:40 or 8:30?
When I said 8:30, I thought you said 8:30.
Okay, 8:30. In favor of 8:30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
She didn't have her hand.
More than that.
I'm sorry, hold your hands high so I can see. Oh, you did. All right.
Yeah, but you're not.
Hold on, Mark. Hold on.
He's not on the. He's had his hand up.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Thank you. 7. Opposed to 8:30. Raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Amendment doesn't carry.
No, it passes.
It passes.
Oh, 8 to 7. 8 to 7. Okay. I got the numbers confused. Thank God I'm here. The amendment fails. The amendment fails. All right. That's what I thought. All right. Now, how many people would like to set the public comment for 30 minutes at 8:45? Raise your hand. 1, 2.
How many board members?
Don't worry, I'm counting. 1, 2,
Any objections?
4. Excuse me. For the public's information, only the board members can vote on this motion. Thank you. We're voting.
No, but I was just going to say, if you say maybe, are there any objections? It might be a little.
That's a good suggestion. Any objections to 8:45? Thank you. All right, we're having public comment at 8:45.
All right. Hello.
All right. Yes, Audra.
Yes.
Take the mic, please.
Point of order. Oh, an amendment.
I
would like to amend the agenda to bring a motion to condemn the summary removal of WBAI management, and that would be where are we? Directly following B up there, motion of use of the airwaves, and then before off air.
I'm sorry, you want it before or after B?
After B.
Thank you. All right.
Before 5.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion?
Well, it's my motion.
You want to know
Yes.
Yes.
When was the last meeting of this board? March 26th. The last meeting of this board was March 26th, and since that time, some rather catastrophic events have occurred at the station, which I believe this board should address here at this meeting.
That's your motivation?
Yes.
Thank you. Is there further discussion? All right, thank you. Will everyone please keep their voices down? A lot of people are going to come and let's practice keeping our voices down so we can hear the proceedings of this meeting. Please. All right. Did everybody hear Vajra's motion? No. Vajra, would you please repeat the motion?
Right. The motion is to add to the agenda after B at the top there and before 5 off air, a motion to condemn the summary removal of WBAI management.
Thank you. All right. How many people are in favor?
Well, I would like to ask for a roll call vote, please.
Thank you. Take a roll call vote. Are you ready, Gail, for a roll call vote?
If people will just say their names and I'll write down yes or no.
Oh, that's debate? I didn't think that was. Well, all right, we need to debate. Do we need a second on this?
Yeah, you got a second.
Okay. Any discussion on a roll call vote?
No, on the motion?
On the motion for a roll call vote?
No, on the we're going to, she wants to.
We're already going to a vote. No one wanted to discuss it any further.
Point of information, this is a vote on whether to include this on the agenda.
Yep.
Right, this is a motion. This is a, let's be clear, thank you. This is a motion about whether to include, this is a vote on whether to include Roger's motion on the agenda. She has asked for a roll call vote. Is there any debate on the decision to have a roll call vote?
No.
All right, there is none, so we will begin with a roll call vote.
If people could just say their name, yes or no.
Oh, no.
No. Roll call vote.
Here, here's a form.
Well, would you please read it? I can't type and read at the same time.
Okay.
Oh, so I'm good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, I need. All right, thank you, Barb.
Yeah, I got my phone. Okay, does anybody need the motion restated? All right. Going to a vote on the motion. Nia Bediaco.
Absolutely.
Carolyn Burton.
No.
Timmy Brooks.
Yes.
Steve Brown.
No.
Omawali Clay. Kathy Davis. Lisa Davis.
Yes.
Sarah Flounders. Robert M. Gold.
No.
Seth Goldberg.
No.
Jennifer Jager.
No.
Vajra Kilgour.
Yes.
Rayla Forrest. Bob Lederer.
Yes.
Lawrence Lucas.
Yes.
R. Paul Martin. No. Bernardo Palumbo. Sean Rhodes.
No.
James Ross.
No.
Max Schmid.
No.
Berta Silva.
Yes.
Alex Steinberg.
No.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 10 no.
All right.
Thank you, Paul.
The motion fails. All right. So unless we have points of order, we have
No, we're not.
amendments to the. All right. I'm sorry. I saw Lisa Davis first. What's your amendment, Lisa?
I would like to add the programming committee. Its mandate has expired. I mean, it was supposed to be set a certain way for 6 months, so that needs to be revisited. Trying to think where it should be put. I'll put it, I guess, after the mending fences motion.
Where's that?
11.
Yeah, because hold on, I'm looking. Or we could do, you know what, rather, we could just do it after 12. I move after 12.
The programming after 12 and before the waivers committee.
There's like 12 and like all these after. It should be, I'm sorry, it should be after. No, that's what I mean. I mean after, right before 13. So after the waivers committee.
After the waivers committee. All right, 12B. All right. Do I hear a second for that?
Second.
Okay. Is there any discussion? Yes, Nia?
Not discussion, I have the second amendment signed.
You want an amendment to that amendment?
No.
Oh, all right. No discussion, so we'll bring this to a vote.
Any objections?
Good idea. Any objections? All right, no objections. So added to the amendment, added to the agenda is the motion the motion to add this programming committee, its expiration discussion to the agenda is at 12B.
12B.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. The next, yes, Alex.
I would like to add an item to the agenda. I have a motion to create a GM and PD search committee.
Where would you like to add it?
I would like to add it before 11.
All right, before 11 and after the after little 7, before that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This is
Item 10.
item 10. You want
There is no second.
to erect? Right. It was not noticed. You want to erect a programming program director and general manager search committee. All right. Is there a second to this?
Second.
All right. There's a second. Any discussion? All right, Vajra.
This body has yet to discuss the illegitimate removal of the management that the station already had. So therefore, there's no reason as yet to form search committees until that issue has been addressed and cleared up.
Thank you. Okay, thank you, everybody. All right. Is there further discussion?
It should.
Alex, no shouting out. I insist, no shouting out.
Well, although some members want to substitute wish fulfillment for the facts are that we have vacancies for the GM position and the PD position, and we have to address that.
Your opinion. LSD must address the removal first.
No initial.
This is no joking matter. You have to address the removal.
I expect the board to set a good example and not to help disrupt this meeting, and everyone in the audience to help protect this discussion. Do not shout out. We are having public comment. You can speak then. All right. Further discussion?
Yeah, I think the last point that was made is really completely ignoring the core of this issue, which is that the process that was used to remove the general manager and the program director was completely in violation of our bylaws, of Pacifica personnel policy, and every other kind of basic human resources procedure.
Please, quiet so we can hear what he is saying.
And therefore,
point of order?
assume...
Wait, I'm sorry, Bob, there's a point of order. Hold on a moment. Yes?
This discussion is out of order. We're adding an item to the agenda.
Into the mic, please.
Thank you. You can motivate this later. Your point is that you don't think.
What I was saying was that because of the removal was done without correct process, that then is completely premature before that issue has been settled to start a search committee for new people, which would then sanctify and freeze into concrete the removal of these people that was done, illegitimately.
Thank you. Thank you. Further discussion? Further discussion? Any further discussion on this motion?
The motion to put it on the agenda.
The motion to put it on the agenda, right?
I support what Bob and Roger said. I think
all right, then I think we understand. The discussion of the motion will be on the agenda.
You cut me off. Are you reading my mind? You know what I'm going to say?
Point of order. Excuse me.
I don't think I'm talking to you over there.
I will speak. Excuse me. She's just said that you support Bob and Roger. I did, because the question is whether it should be on the agenda or not.
I have a point of order.
Yes.
The point of order is that the chair...
The point of order is that the chair must allow members of the board to speak uninterruptedly for at least 3 minutes. It is the chair and the chair on the motion, which the member was doing, and the chair is entirely out of order in interrupting any member of the board while that member is speaking.
Thank you, Bob. Hold on. Thank you. Hold on. We are speaking about whether to put this motion on the agenda or not. We are not, we are not defending excuse me, wait a second, Lisa. We are not defending the issues of the motion. However, I apologize for cutting you off. If you want to defend putting it on the agenda, please continue.
I'm against putting it on the agenda about the search for the GM committee. The chair cannot read my mind, obviously, I don't know. People might think they can for maybe the past, but they can't. Maybe their history told them they could, but they're wrong. But anyway, I'm against putting it on the agenda because there has been no discussion about what has happened with the program director and the general manager, which I definitely opposed, and it was in violation of all kinds of things. We have all these people here tonight who want that discussion, and they've just been basically told no, they're not going to have it, and it's ignored. I'm going to ask everybody, please notice the board members that support ignoring. Please take notice of it. Thank you. And take notice of the ones who are standing up for the rights of workers and for your rights as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is, I think we should acknowledge reality here, and we need to start a search committee for management, and we should do it as soon as possible. I can remember some previous ones. Please call everyone to order here. I can remember some previous search committees that took a year and a half or 2 years. So I think given the usual way these things work, I think you'll have plenty of time to debate anything in the world before they come back with any recommendation, unless it's some amazing thing and actually efficient, which isn't exactly what happens in the Pacifica Foundation most of the time. And as for removal, I don't see anything illegal that happened there.
Talk to a labor lawyer. People want to speak to this can speak in public comment, please. Is there any more discussion? Can you call the question? Yes, you can.
Can I call the question?
All right. Is that a vote? How many people are ready to bring this motion to a vote? How many people are in favor of bringing this motion to a vote?
I want a roll call vote.
Yeah, roll call vote.
Hold on. How many people? Oh, a roll call vote. How many people are in favor of a roll call vote?
This on the floor. Deal with this. Call the question. Takes precedence.
Does that no roll call vote for that?
Takes precedence. First things first.
All right. First. Thank you. How many people are in favor of bringing this to a vote? Raise your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 in favor of bringing this motion to a vote. How many opposed? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
8.
Please raise your hands again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, sorry, Ray. 6, 7, 8. All right. It fails. Requires 2/3. Here we go. How many people are in favor of putting onto the agenda after at number 10, organizing a search committee for the general manager and the program director?
Point of order.
Who was that?
We just voted to continue debate.
No, we voted 2/3.
It requires a 2/3 vote to cut off debate.
There was no debate. I asked.
Why did we just have a vote if it wasn't to call the question? That requires 2/3.
The vote. Oh, listen, I have to apologize. The fine points I'm not in control of. Now, you need 2/3 to cut off debate. So, Nita, please. So, we did not get 2/3. So, if there is more discussion, please raise your hand. On the motion to put the search committee on the agenda. Is there any more discussion? I see none. Come to a vote. Father Lucas?
Once again, I'm pointing out that this is putting the horse before the cart, or the cart before the horse. Whichever one goes first. Since the illegal removals were done in closed session so that nobody knew what was going on, are you going to try to do this search in closed session too, so nobody knows what is going on?
That last statement's out of order.
No, it's not. Very much in order. Very much in order.
All right. Now, is there further debate on whether to put the search committee on the agenda tonight?
We have another
Cindy
hand up.
Brooks. Don't worry, Martin, please.
I feel really uncomfortable until something concrete or substantive comes out of whatever went on in executive session, whether on the local or national level. I'm not talking about personnel matters in the sense of very intimate details, with an explanation, because I am answerable in a certain sense to a larger body than myself. And before a search committee gets established, in other words, before you have a job description, you want to say what wasn't good or what wasn't bad. We have nothing in detail. Nothing.
Thank you. Is there further discussion? All right, seeing none, we will now come to a vote.
Roll call vote, please.
How many people are in favor of a roll call vote on this?
I think you should ask, is there any objection?
Thank you. Is there any objection to a roll call vote?
Yes. There would be.
Of course.
Does anyone want to discuss the question of a roll call vote?
We're still waiting.
All right, thank you. Are you ready for a roll call vote? We will now have a. We will now. I will. On whether. We are now going to take a vote on whether to have a roll call vote. Those in favor of a roll call vote on whether to put the search committee on the agenda, please raise your hand. Are you ready, Arthur?
Somebody raise it hands.
All right. How many in favor? How many in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 in favor. How many opposed? 8 in favor. Raise your hands high. I apologize for missing these hands. In favor of a roll call vote. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got you right. 6, 7, 8. How many opposed to a roll call vote on this subject?
The reaction vote.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 opposed, 8 in favor. It passes. All right. A roll call vote on whether to put the management search committee on the agenda.
Andrew, I have another amendment.
I'm sorry, we're in the middle of a vote right now.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, on the question. Giabediaco.
No.
Carolyn Burden. Tibby Brooks.
No.
Steve Brown.
Yes.
Omawali Clay. Kathy Davis. Lisa Davis.
Hell no.
Sarah Flounders. Robert M. Gold.
Yes.
Seth Goldberg.
Yes.
Jennifer Jager.
Yes.
Roger Kilgour.
No.
Rayla Forrest.
Nope.
Bob Lederer.
No.
Lawrence Lucas.
No.
R. Paul Martin. Yes. Bernardo Palumbo. Sean Rhodes.
Yes.
James Ross.
Yes.
Max Schmid.
Yes.
Berta Silva.
No.
Somebody tripped up over there. Alex Steinberg.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Take
7,
note,
8, 9. 9 yes. Oh, I'm sorry, Carolyn Burden. Okay, that's 10. 10 yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 no.
It fails. It's not a two-thirds. It's not a two-thirds.
Oh, that's right. It's on 2/3.
All right.
All the orders of the day.
The motion fails because we did not get 2/3 for this vote. So this is not on the agenda.
Are these copies of the agenda?
Two more copies of the agenda, please. Andrew. 3 more copies.
How many chairs do we have over there?
All right.
Andrea, I have an amendment.
Yes.
Wait a minute. I have a point of order.
We have just had a call for the orders of the day. Because the time scheduled for amending the agenda has run out. So,
Point of order. Point of order. There is no time scheduled for amending the agenda. That is subject to no limitation until the body decides by 2/3 vote to end that part of the discussion.
Point of order. Point of order.
Yes, this board voted to have a special rule that agenda setting would take 20 minutes.
Thank you. Your point of order?
That was my point of order as well. And we've been operating under that special rule for
3 years?
All right. And your point of order?
Is it setting or amending the agenda?
There is no...
Setting and amending.
There is no...
Hold on, Barbara. We have an agenda that has come to the station board meetings. People vote on whether to approve that agenda or not, and they vote on it by whether they want to amend it or not. We are mincing words to say that setting or amending does not apply to the 20-minute session of the standing order of the board. Now, it is true that this is a continued meeting and that 20-minute session is not on the agenda, but the purpose, and it could not be on this agenda, but the purpose of that motion has been carried out by this board for 3 years. So I'm going to rule that the 20-minute session is up.
Point of order.
Yes.
The 20-minute limitation was for setting an agenda. There is no standing rule with regard to a time limitation on amending the agenda of a continued meeting. There's no standing rule with regard to that. Perhaps there ought to be, but otherwise there would be no means, since the 20 minutes for setting this agenda was exhausted in March, there would be no means of amending an agenda even following a two-month lag from the previous meeting. So in the absence of a standing rule to limit the amendment of an agenda at a continued meeting, debate, then the discussion and amending of the agenda can continue. If you want such a standing rule, you'll have to pass it at another meeting.
Point of order. Point of order. Yes.
The chair has ruled that she is imposing a 20-minute limit. Now, if you want to challenge the ruling of the chair, feel free to do so. If you're not, then we will go on with that 20-minute limit. It's very clear.
Appeal the ruling of the chair.
Second.
All right. Thank you. How many people? Oh, wait a minute. How many people are in favor?
Speak into the microphone.
How many?
It's going to be 10 to 8.
No shouting out, Rashida. No shout. Interrupting the meeting. You're right, but we will not disrupt this meeting by any other discussion that is in order. Thank you. You are. We have to take a vote. We have to take a vote. Lisa, please help us. Help us conduct this meeting. You are not helping us. All right. How many people uphold the ruling of the chair that we have spent 20 minutes in discussion of the agenda, which is in concert with the motion that was passed, the standing rule of this body to discuss and set the agenda for 20 minutes? How many people are in favor of?
Hang on. This is a debatable. This is debatable.
Oh,
you've already given your argument.
You are right. You are right.
You've already given your argument.
Any more discussion on my decision?
Yes.
Is it you?
Yes, that's me. There is no standing rule with regard to limiting the time allowed to amend the agenda at a continued meeting. None. Zero. Zip. I agree that perhaps such a thing might be desirable, but if this body wishes to have such a thing, it must pass it at a regular meeting or you can amend this agenda right now, and if you get a 2/3 majority, you can add it right now. However, the chair is not in order. Having commenced the discussion and the allowance of amendments to the agenda, it is not in order for the chair to invent a brand new rule.
Thank you. Any other? Yes, Carolyn. Can someone pass Carolyn a mic? There is a mic there, apparently, Carolyn. Oh, no, there isn't a mic. Sorry.
The ruling of the chair. The ruling of the chair is exactly what we're debating. So your argument would be answered by a vote, and I would suggest that we move to a vote on the ruling of the chair.
Thank you. Any other? Bob.
Yeah. The reason that the chair is totally mistaken is, aside from the points Vajra made, that the original rule was for setting an agenda when you're there that night. The first time you're setting an agenda from scratch, that it shouldn't go on and on. That makes sense. This is a completely different situation, and I think it's important for people who may think this is parliamentary, crap back and forth. This is serious, okay? More than 2 months, which, by the way, the bylaws you're skirting the bylaws here, which require a meeting every 2 months. More than 2 months, every 2 months, but more than 2 months have gone by since the last public meeting, although there was the secret meeting that happened in between. In that time, a huge number of devastating and backward moves have come from Pacifica and from the new local management. And one of the things that I was planning to bring a motion about, if this had been allowed to go forward, and if we are able to succeed in overturning the chair's ruling, is to challenge the gag rule that's been imposed by management. Okay, so the point is, this is exactly why this rule cannot be applied to a continued meeting, because when 2 months have elapsed since we last set our agenda, you may need more than 20 minutes to list all the new items of business that must be addressed by a board that claims to be responsible about looking over the affairs of the station.
Thank you. Point of order?
The member is speaking to the cameras, and he's
Speak into the damn thing, will you?
He's not addressing the points.
Speak into the mic!
Point of order.
All right.
Point of order.
Yes. Yes.
Members are not to speak to the motivation of other members. It is absolutely out of order for the member who was just speaking to say to whom or what issue the member who just spoke quite cogently to the issue.
Thank you.
Is speaking.
Thank you, Vajra. That's true. Yes, you are, Paul.
Point well taken.
Point.
Actually, I'm not sure about either side on this. It could be argued either way. Because one of the questions that does arise, of course, as a previous speaker has pointed out, is what if the meeting just spends all of its time until 10 o'clock tonight debating, I want to add this to the agenda, I want to add that to the agenda. I suppose we could do that if it's really what we want to do, to come out on a rainy night and come here and just do that all night. On the other hand, one thing I will point out is that no matter how this vote goes, someone has called for the orders of the day. And so that means that we are required to go to the next thing that's on the agenda, since we've already adopted agenda. So either way, whatever happens next is already on the agenda.
Thank you. Is there further discussion? All right. I would like to point out that when rules are made, every possible eventuality cannot be anticipated. The reason that this rule, the standing rule, was passed by the LSB was to avoid interminable discussions of the agenda. Tonight, what happened is what happens at every meeting. An agenda is presented, and then people discuss how they want to rearrange it or amend it. That took place tonight for 20 minutes, according to the spirit of the original rule, of the standing rule. Therefore, I am ruling, because there is nothing specific addressing this eventuality, that the time for setting or amending the agenda is over, and we will continue with the orders of the day. Thank you.
We need to end the gag rule.
We will not shout out.
I'm asking you a question.
Where there's no, you are out of order. There's public comment at which you can ask these questions.
I'm a listener.
You are out of order at this moment. You are not a listener. You're not listening. All right.
Point of order. Point of order.
Everyone.
Point of order. Point of order.
I'm calling you to order for
A point of order. The point of order takes precedence. Point of order. Point of order. I would request the chair not to engage in making insulting remarks to members of the public. I understand that the chair would like to maintain order, but I would ask that the chair refrain from insulting members of the
You are
public.
out of order. I was not insulting the party. I have asked everybody here to cooperate by not interrupting or
Did you not tell
disrupting
her
the
she was
meeting.
not a listener?
You told her she wasn't a listener.
Look,
That was insulting.
You know exactly what I meant, and everyone else does now.
And I think
Everybody will come to order, and we're going to proceed with this meeting.
Point of order. Please stop telling people that you know what somebody meant. You don't know what
I
what
did
people.
not. I
you
did
just
not.
told-
That's out
you
of
just
order.
said that.
And that's not a point of order. We will continue, Lisa. I did
Wait,
not.
you just said, excuse me, you did just say,
I
you did just
did
say
not.
that you know what people meant. I'm saying, please don't do that.
Thank you.
You can't tell what people think.
All right. Yes.
Madam Chair, everyone here maybe would like to be somewhere else. If this meeting doesn't come to order and people don't stop yelling and certain members of this board don't stop being pugnacious, I think we should adjourn. This is a waste
No,
of
for
time.
public comments. He could handle it.
We will all not.
He could handle it. Come on.
If you are going to continue, we're going to have to vote to adjourn this meeting. All right. The agenda continues.
Not public comments.
All those in favor of upholding the chair's ruling regarding the cutting off of, regarding the fact that the 20 minutes of setting the agenda is over, please raise your hand.
Roll call vote.
For upholding my ruling. We're in the middle of a vote, Audra.
No, you weren't. No, you
Yes,
weren't.
I asked for the
I asked
vote.
for a roll call, and I asked for a roll call vote against you asked for.
We're starting the count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Rashida, please. 9. 9 in favor of upholding the ruling of the chair. All those opposed to upholding the chair's ruling. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rays. 6, 7, 8. What is the
Chair's upheld.
The ruling is upheld. We will now continue with the meeting. The first item on the agenda is the motion for the abuse of the airwaves, which was supposed to take place at the last meeting when I arrived. I had a medical emergency and did not arrive, so this is at the top of the agenda. Since I am chairing this meeting, I must recuse myself from this discussion and pass the chairing for this part of the meeting over to the next officer, who is R. Paul Martin, the treasurer. So he will chair the meeting while I bring this motion forward. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, do we have a copy of the motion to pass out to the members? And will the maker of the motion please read it aloud? Wait, this is the agenda you handed me. And after you get that one, hand it out to the members, and please read it out aloud for everyone to hear.
May I begin while it's being handed out?
Go ahead. Well, yes, you should start. Read it out for everyone first.
Okay. This is a motion about the abuse of the air. Recent. Can you
Okay,
hear?
Martin and Terry, would you please sit down? You can't just walk through the whole meeting here. Hey, will you come to order? Okay. right, Martin Atarian, are you going to come to order? Are you going to do this?
Point of.
All right. Martin Atarian,
Did a board member just
stop
throw
this.
something?
Will Martin Atarian please stop this?
Point of order.
Stop. Will you please come to order? I'm trying to, there's no order over here. And there's no point of order.
Point of
over
order.
this. The chair has the point of order first. Will you please stop this disruption, Mr. Atarian?
Childish disruption.
Point of order.
Please stop this disruption.
Point of order.
Infantile.
Mr. Atarian, you're disrupting the meeting and you're doing it on purpose. It's not exactly...
I've been doing it for years, so why can't I?
Well,
point of order.
I think we'll find out at some point.
Point of order.
There's a point of order over there. Point of order.
Did the chair just throw something?
The chair rejected something that was thrown at the chair.
Did the chair ball it up and throw it at somebody? I mean, I think that's very disrespectful. And I just want to say that these people, many of these people, they hardly ever come to meetings.
Will you please come to order here? Are you? The chair.
I'm making a point of order.
That's not a point of order.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. This is not a point of order. The point of order was trying to get somebody, one of your pals, to stop disrupting the meeting.
And I'm on a point of order in terms of you throwing a piece of paper at the audience. I think that's very disrespectful.
Wow.
No, you think you have the right to do whatever
Please
you want.
come to order. Please come to order so the meeting can continue.
You guys, you need to get
Please come to order.
put new board members on the board.
Lisa B. Davis, please come to order.
Oh, Paul Martin, I am in order.
No, you're not.
Well, I am in order.
Everyone come to order now.
All right.
Oh, I am in order.
Can everybody hear?
Point of order.
Will everybody?
Mr. Chair, point of order.
Yes, the point of order.
We just had an interruption by a listener who refused to pay attention to the chair. My suggestion is that when public comment comes, he be forbidden to make his public comment.
Stop it.
What a
everybody come to order. We have a motion that's going to be read on the floor.
All right. Okay, thank you. Recent, can everybody please hear? Recent abuses of WBAI's air, including unfounded accusation and personal attacks on members of this board by some programmers and management, are corrosive to the radio community and put the foundation at legal risk. In addition, constant promotion on the news reports of Wake Up Call of a website which promotes a particular point of view of the political issues of Pacifica is not only a further abuse of the air, but it is a violation of ethical journalistic practice and endangers the reputation and...
Will everyone over there please come to order? Will everyone over there please come to order? The board members need to hear the motion. Otherwise, there's not going to be a meeting. Please come to order. Continue.
In addition, constant promotion on the air, constant promotion on the news reports of Wake Up Call of a website which promotes a particular point of view of the political issues of Pacifica is not only a further abuse of the air, but it is a violation of ethical journalistic practice and endangers the reputation and therefore the ability of WBAI's news department to function.
Well said.
Further reiteration,
All right, will the members of the audience please come to order? Because if it keeps up, then it's probably going to adjourn before you end up with public comment. So if you want public comment, please come to order. It's in your interest to have an orderly meeting as well. Because if you're all shouting at once, who the hell can hear anything? So why don't we just have an orderly meeting, let everyone say what they want to say at the right time. All right? So please allow the member to complete reading the motion that's going on the floor.
Further, reiteration of the accusation that the current changes at BAI constitute a coup or a takeover are unfounded. And are deleterious to the station and to our fundraising. Finally, such use of the airwaves severely endangers a fair elections process.
please come to order.
Although actions by the acting general manager have gone a long way to address the misuse of the airwaves, the board requests that the acting general manager take further measures to correct this violation of journalistic practice and the ongoing abuse of the airwaves.
Like the Jagger.
Yep. Okay, and there is a second to the motion. Do you want to motivate the motion?
Yes. This motion is not an attempt at censorship.
Again, come to order, please.
This motion is an attempt to create fair discussion on the airwaves.
All right, hey. Everyone, please come to order, especially the board members. Especially the board members, and also everybody else in the room. Will everyone please come to order? Everyone has a right to say what they want. If you're so against censorship, stop censoring the speaker. Yeah, that's reality. Yeah, it isn't. You don't get to censor people either, so everyone come to order.
We all know that whoever controls the means of communication has great control of the understanding of the community.
What?
Which is what you Pacifica was created to allow open discussion, dialogue, and debate. When the news is not a place where personal opinions should be aired. The news is an attempt to inform the public of what is going on. Interpretation.
Well, everybody, hey, you want to come to order here, or, you know, I'm not, okay, you know, who says not really over there? Yeah? Right. All right. Everybody come to order.
I will to adjourn this meeting. There is no meeting here. There's nobody wants to come to order.
The chair is not recognized.
I'm sorry, it calls for a vote.
The chair is not recognized the speaker.
I will keep asking the chair to recognize
At some point,
I would like to be, Mr. Chair, I would like to be recognized. Chair, a motion. Mr. Chair, I would like to make a motion right now to adjourn.
Member, I would inform the member.
I would like to make a motion.
I will call the member to order and remind him that someone else has the floor, and the member may not make the motion to adjourn while someone else is on the floor speaking.
I'm making a motion
some point,
the question is not being paid attention to.
At some point, when there's nobody, hey, you want to knock this off? Come on. At some point, if the member is called upon, the member may make the motion in a proper way, but the motion may not interrupt the speaker. And I would ask everybody else
has been interrupted by everyone, which is why I want to make this motion.
Yes, you're interrupting. Other people are interrupting. There are a lot of people interrupting. Let's not do that. Let us allow the member to continue with this.
Pacifica has a long and hallowed tradition of opening up the news to information that is not available elsewhere. We must not endanger its reputation by allowing personal positions on different incidents that the community is confronted by on the news. That is not the place for this discussion. So this would result, this would result in censorship in itself. It does not allow full understanding of what is going on. And further, it adds to the public's distrust of what goes on at Pacifica. And it adds to the public's distrust of the air when such partisan positions or particular opinions are allowed on the air as if they were news. This is not an attempt to censor. This is an attempt to keep the airwaves open and welcome to public discussion, and an attempt to allow the public to feel feel protected by this airspace.
Point of order.
Point of order.
Okay. This motion is out of order because it violates the resolution passed by the Pacifica National Board on December 29, 2001, which lifted the previous gag rule against on-air discussion of internal Pacifica policies and management decisions. That resolution stated, quote, "It is hereby resolved that the gag rule is immediately eliminated," and was specifically ordered by the lawsuit settlement agreement in December 2001. It was affirmed after its passage by the judge supervising the settlement in January 2002. And let me just explain further that among the motivating factors for that board, excuse me, I want to explain my point of order. As to why,
point of order.
No, I haven't finished explaining it. One of the motivating factors for this decision was the censorship of the Pacifica Network News by Dan Coughlin when he dared to announce that there was opposition to the policies of Pacifica management, and he was then fired the next day. And this motion was passed by the board to say this can never, ever happen again under whatever guise.
All right.
So this motion's totally out of order.
All right, I'm going to rule that your point of order is not well taken because the LSB has no power to censor. The as I read it here, going through everything,
appeal the ruling of the chair.
Second.
You'll come to order first. As I read it here, at the end, it comes to a final action, which is asking the acting general manager to take further measures to correct this violation of journalistic practice and ongoing abuse of the airwaves. That would be the LSB asking the general manager to do something. Something which would be up to the general manager to figure out exactly what to do. So the LSB, whether the motion is a good motion or a bad motion, the LSB is allowed to make motions that may not be the best. Certainly we've had LSBs pass motions in the past that not everybody on the LSB has agreed with, and that some people on the LSB have said this is a bad motion.
Point of order.
Passed. So the chair is making his ruling, and so therefore I am ruling your point of order not well taken, because the LSB, even if it's making a mistake, is allowed to make a mistake like this because the LSB has no power to impose a gag rule.
Appeal the ruling of the chair.
All right. Okay, so that's an appeal.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're not that.
I have a point of information.
All right, the chair goes. I do not yield to your point of information. The chair gets to go first on this. I've pretty much said why I'm ruling the point not well taken. This body does not have the power to impose a gag rule. The Pacifica National Board has said there is no gag rule, and so there it is. Now, if this body wants to say, pass this motion, and somebody wants to interpret that as a gag rule, fine. It will be up to management to decide to do anything or to do nothing about this motion. Wouldn't be the first time the LSB has passed a motion and nobody's paid any attention to it. On the other hand, maybe it would be something that the interim general manager would look at and would probably take up with the executive director of the Pacifica National Board, since the Pacifica National Board is the body in charge of making sure the rules are followed. So therefore, despite disruptors over here, I am ruling that this is out of order. Does anybody else want to?
I have a point of information.
Yeah?
Okay. Now, you said that we have no power to impose the gag rule. So I would like to ask the maker of the motion what she had in mind when she said, quote, take further measures to correct this violation of journalistic practice and the ongoing abuse of the airways. What is it that you want the acting general manager to do?
It's on
Impose a new gag rule.
This is not about a gag rule.
Yes, it is. No matter what you call it, it is.
Do you want to hear
All
my
right,
answer?
everyone come to order. Even if your mind is already made up, please come to order and allow people to speak. Someone has asked a question. Don't you want her to get the answer to her question?
Let her speak. I want to know what it is. We want to know what she says it is. What is it? What is it?
This is an attempt to keep the public discussion open. When people who have control of the airways put on the news information which is taking a personal position, that is a violation of journalistic practice. Announcing that there is opposition in the community is not a violation of journalistic practice. But that is not what has gone on the news, on what has allegedly been called news. In addition,
is famous for taking a
war
and for
all right, Sheila Hamadak, you want to stop disrupting the meeting?
No.
No, you're not. Well, you're trying to gag her.
Mr. Chair, point of information.
Stop it. Everybody in the room, come to order.
Point of information. May I ask the chair what steps he plans to take to stop the continued interruptions? Obviously, telling a woman like Sheila Hamadak that she cannot interrupt is doing no good.
All right. Well, I've already noted to people.
May I have an answer, please?
We can only call people to order in Pacifica. In Pacifica, we have this long tradition of the meetings getting disrupted, and people are doing it despite the fact that the Pacifica Foundation's got less than a month of money left in it. But it's more important to scream and yell here. So, Mr.
Chair, do you have a plan to stop the interruption?
Yes, I will keep calling people to order, and at some point, someone will have some sort of a motion that will relate to that.
Mr. Chair, I have a motion, and I move to adjourn the next time this happens.
Yeah, you can't do that on a point of information.
Well, I asked to be
Remember to my
recognized
report. I will get to people.
You're calling on everyone but me, Mr. Chair. I want to be recognized to make a motion.
Okay, I will be calling on everyone equally. Well, right now,
starting with me, Mr. Chair.
I have a point of order. I've already started. Everybody will be called on equally, and the fact is that we are having an appeal of the ruling of the chair, and a question has been asked of the maker of the motion. Are you done with your answer to it?
The measures I asked her about. I asked specifically about the measures. What further measures do you want?
I have not thought of specific measures. I'm leaving that up to the acting general manager. Whatever the acting general manager thinks is necessary to correct the ongoing abuse of the air is what I am requesting. I am not a general manager, and I am not in a position to address this
Why is she
question.
not at this meeting? Isn't she an ex-officio
She
member of the board?
is, and she was invited to the meeting.
All right. There is a motion to appeal the ruling of the chair on the floor. Is there any further debate on this motion? Okay, Jader.
WBAI is a propaganda arm of the Justice and Unity Coalition.
I can't hear you.
It is not news to put propaganda on the news. If the positions were switched, which they're not, and people, independents, asked to put our position on the news, it wouldn't happen. Therefore, that is not news.
All right, well, everybody over there, hold on a second. What, gentlemen? Everyone over here, please come to order. All right, continue, please.
Furthermore, if this continues during the election, this will be improper electioneering, because WBAI will be electioneering for a particular slate. That will be a violation of the Fair Campaign Pledge, and the elections will be declared null and void. So keep it up, guys. Keep it up.
What?
Is there any further debate on the motion to appeal the ruling of the chair? Point of order. There's a point of order?
Yes.
What is it?
I would ask the member to address other members of the board in a more respectful fashion.
That's not a point. All right, is there any further debate on this motion to appeal the ruling of the chair?
I hand over
Yes.
I call the orders of the day on this entire item. It's only supposed to be...
Use the mic!
Okay.
We have to move to
All right, orders of the day have been called on this. Let's check, see what the times look like.
Excuse me, please record.
All right, we are way over on this. Okay, the orders of the day have been called. So what happens now is we go to an immediate vote on the appeal of the ruling of the chair. And then, well, let me say, then you can do, whatever you're going to do. First, we go to the appeal of the ruling of the chair, and then it would be the main motion. Yes?
Move to extend so that there can be some debate of the actual motion.
Yeah.
Out of order though it may be,
What
needs to be debated.
No, it's in order. What time limit?
What was the time limit originally set for it?
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
For 10 minutes. To extend for 10 minutes.
Yes. Yeah, so that would take us right to public, or to public comment, to 8 minutes. That's 12 minutes.
So, the motion is to extend this by 10 minutes, requires a 2/3 vote. All those, it's not debatable, all those in favor of extending this item for 10 more minutes, please raise your hand.
Yeah.
All those opposed to extending this item for another 10 minutes, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that is 8. Requires a 2/3. It's 8 to 8, so the motion to extend fails. All right.
9. Kathy had her hand up. 8 over here and 1 over there. It's 9.
Did you have your hand up? I didn't see it.
Yes, she did.
All right, 9 then.
Boy, public schools in New York.
Public affairs person voting down the debate.
Okay. The first item is the appeal of the ruling of the chair. The way this works is we call all those in favor of upholding the chair, and positive vote on that is yes. And if you want to overrule the chair, it's no. All those in favor of
Roll call vote.
I've already started calling people. Do it before people start the vote.
You didn't start it.
Yes, I did. Disrupting me in the middle of starting it is not after. All right, I'm going to go this on hands because you've got to call it in time, not while I'm saying all those in favor.
Vote on the motion.
All those in favor of upholding the ruling of the chair, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3. I count 10. All those opposed to the ruling of the chair, please raise your hand. 1, 2. Let me see if I can. 7.
What?
8.
8.
Put them up again.
Keep doing that. Just don't count first.
No, I mean somebody didn't have their hand up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now it's 8.
You could have made a mistake or a fall.
You're a crook.
You think?
Roll call vote on the motion, please.
It fails. No, too late.
On the
motion, it's out.
On the motion itself, a roll call vote. On the motion.
The item is up.
The item is not.
Is there any objection? Is there any objection? Come to order. Is there any objection to a roll call vote at this point on the motion? I don't see any objection to a roll call, so we'll have that. All right, hold on a minute.
Be proud. Be proud.
Stop listening.
All right. No, I got it. Okay, on the motion that was read to the floor, Nia Bediaco.
Absolutely not.
Carolyn Burton. Timmy Brooks. Steve Brown.
Yes.
Okay, well, people doing that, stop it. Grow up. All right, Steve Brown.
Mr. Chair, I'm sorry, I was not paying attention.
All right, this is on the vote on the motion that was read by Andrea Fishman.
I vote yes.
Yes.
I'd like to change my vote to yes, too, please. We knew that.
Wally Clay.
Big surprise.
I'm sorry, the people are talking over here, audience and members, and I'm not hearing.
Okay, everybody want to come to order here? We can't have a meeting if you're going to...
Now, I didn't hear what Wally Clay. Did Wally Clay vote? Is he here? No.
He's not here, so... somebody over there was fraudulently, How about a little honesty, folks, huh? Yeah. How about some honesty out of it? How about it? How about some honesty over there? Somebody, when I call the name of a member and somebody shouts out, yes, that is fraudulent. Stop it. It's dishonest. It's so damn good. We are going through a roll call vote. If you are not a member and your name hasn't been called, please be honest and don't try to fake the vote. All right. Kathy Davis.
Yes, thank you.
Wait. Okay. Lisa Davis.
No way on earth.
Members are talking.
All right, hey.
And Father Lucas continue to make comments in my ear. It is disruptive, and I would ask you to make them stop.
Will you please come to order over there? I mean, you're adults. You know how to comport yourselves in a meeting. All right, well, everybody stop. Everybody come to order over here. Will everyone please come to order? Will everyone please come to order over here? We have, let us... Hey, come on. No, come on, we got people. Please come to order. Will you please come to order, too? Everybody come to order.
There's no excuse for that.
Will everyone please come to order over here? In the entire room, everyone in the room, stop it. Will everyone please come to order? The secretary is supposed to be recording the meeting, and if she can't hear what's happening, she can't do it. So I'm asking people to please stop having conversations right next to her. We're not supposed to be having loads of conversations during the meeting. So, the roll call vote is going to continue now. All right. Let's see. Kathy Davis voted. Lisa Davis.
I said no way in hell.
Yeah. Andrea Fishman.
Yes.
Vote.
Sarah Flounders. Robert M. Gold.
Yes.
Seth Goldberg.
Yes.
Jennifer Jager.
Yes.
Excuse me,
Roger
it's happening
Kilgour.
again where people over here are voting. It is disruptive, and I would ask that person be ordered to leave if they continue.
People will stop. No, hey, please come to order over there, you two, okay? Everybody come to order and, stop
First
this.
Amendment rights over here. Do I get some say about that? Is there some place?
Public comment, that's where you get to say. Right now we're in a vote. Stop disrupting this meeting.
Gotcha.
All right, Roger Kilgour.
No.
Ray LaForest.
No way.
Bob Lederer.
No to this repressive and illegal motion.
Lawrence Lucas.
Absolutely not to the gag.
Bernardo Palumbo. Sean Rhodes.
Yes.
James Ross.
Yes.
Max Schmid.
Yes.
Berta Silva.
No. Of course.
No problem.
Okay, everybody stop this. Alex Steinberg.
Yes.
Okay, is there anybody who's here whose name I didn't call? Bert, I got you.
Mitch Cohen. Where was he?
Yeah, I said people who are here. You know what I'm doing.
You called a lot of people.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. in favor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 opposed. The motion passes.
11 in favor.
I think there was a miscount.
You had an abstention.
Be honest.
There was a miscount.
I think there was a miscount.
Okay, who abstained?
Kathy Davis abstained.
Did you abstain? All right. Well, gee whiz. Amazing. All the people hollering yes when her name was called. I thought she said yes. What a coincidence.
Point of order.
You have to teach yourself.
I heard Kathy Davis say abstain.
So did I.
Come to order, please. Everyone's Therefore, the vote count is 10 for, 8 against, 1 abstention. Still passes. And at this point, I think that's the end of your stuff. So at this point, the chair is handed back over to the vice chair.